Today is Friday, August 16th, 2024, and this is episode number 3 of the DogHouse Podcast.
From DogHouseSystems.com, this is the DogHouse Podcast.
We'd like to welcome you all back to the DogHouse. Today we have the full crew back. I'd like to welcome back Abby and Lorenzo. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing great.
Great.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys are here on this nice, cool day here in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah, I think we're
so cool.
Yeah. At least it's cool in the office. But yeah, I think we're supposed to get up to about 101, 102 today.
Last night on my drive home, I got to 111 in my car.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think over the weekend, we're going to hit 103, 104. And then I think we might get a little relief going into next week. It is what it is. It's part of living here. At least our winters will be a little nicer, so we'll take it. But anyways, we've got a packed out show today. We've got same deal. We've got news, some games that we're going to talk about, and we've got a real good tech corner discussion that we have thanks to Tiberius sending in his question to us. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it.
All right. This week, we'll be discussing Intel CPU stability issues and warranty extensions. So, Lorenzo, I'll hand it off to you.
All right. So if you've seen any tech-related headline in the past couple of weeks, you've probably seen that Intel's 13th and 14th generation processors have exhibited quite a bit of stability issues and increased power draw over their stated figures. So to address these issues, Intel's released multiple updates, including the major three are in May of 2024, a few months ago, Intel default settings were added to manufacturer BIOSes. So you'll see that for our boards provided by ASUS, the AI tweaker tab. In June of 2024, Intel introduced microcode 0x125 to fix the extended turbo velocity boost issue in their i9 processors. And most recently, this month, August 2024, Intel introduced microcode 0x129 to address elevated voltages being supplied to the CPU by motherboards. Intel also increased the warranty period for these CPUs from 2 years to 5 years. The warranty is separate from your DogHouse system full warranty and is serviced directly through Intel if you're out of our warranty. That raises a ton of questions. The most important one, I'm sure, is what should you do if you have one of these CPUs? And we'll have links in the show notes as to which CPUs and how to contact Intel as well. The most important thing is to update to a BIOS that includes microcode 0x129 or later. They're cumulative, so you don't need to install each one independently. BIOS version 2503 for the Asus ROG Z790-E Gaming, and version 1663 for the Asus Prime B760M-A AX, which is a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
Both implement this new microcode version. Other boards used by DogHouse Systems have not yet received the update at the time of recording.
And the good news on that is it's just one other motherboard. So you know, 2/3 of it were already squared away.
So that should be coming soon, very soon. The other thing you can do is in your BIOS, after you've updated these, you should check your AI tweaker settings and enable Intel default settings in the BIOS under advanced mode, which is accessed by hitting the F7 key and then AI tweaker.
Okay, Lorenzo, I got a couple of questions.
Yeah, that was a lot. You sure?
A lot of good information, though. So will this affect my system performance?
Short answer is no. And again, in the show notes, we'll have links to a couple of independent benchmark suites run by the people over at Phoronix, which specifically test Linux performance, but performance is performance, and also PC Gamer as well.
I got another one.
Yep.
How do I get help if my system has this issue?
Great question. I think probably the most important is if you're having an issue, contact DogHouse or contact Intel. If you are out of DogHouse warranty, probably you're not at the point, since these are pretty recent CPUs. We can help you, and if we're not able to help you, then we can get you in contact with Intel as well. But as always, contact DogHouse Systems if you need help with one of the systems you purchased from us for any reason.
If it's a 13th gen and let's say you only got a 1-year warranty, still just reach out to us. It doesn't matter. We're still going to help you, support you, and get you in the right direction. And I'd have to say too, with this having have happened, we really haven't been having too much of a support incident rate over this. So I think this is more of something that will fix potential long-term problems. I think it's a situation where now that the fix is out, it'd be pretty important to go ahead and get it done. And again, we can provide links in the show notes and also from a support standpoint be available to help any of the existing DogHouse customers. If let's say you built your own system and have some questions, you could reach out to us at podcast@DogHouse Systems. Hit us up. We'll go ahead and answer any questions that you guys might have. Chances are we may have to get you in touch with Intel, but we can, again, we're more than happy to try to help everybody out there.
Yeah, and just a quick side note, if your system's working perfectly fine, still apply the BIOS update. It'll mitigate any possible future degradation of your CPU, even if your system is perfectly fine today.
Agreed.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So we're going to change directions. So I just heard about this game. It came out in July of this year. And if you're a fan of the Final Fantasy series, then you might enjoy Sword of Convalaria. It looked really cool. It is a fantasy tactical RPG that revitalizes the Japanese turn-based and pixel art genre.
Nice.
Basically, you collect and train a roster of mercenaries, customize your squad, and use your own strategy to save the nation of Iria. Journey through a world of plot twists where every choice you make will reshape your destiny.
What do you think when it comes into gaming side of things, Lorenzo? Are you into the turn-based RPG style games?
Typically, I'd say yes, absolutely. This, just from looking over, it looks like it may be more akin to a classic job-based RPG. One of the earlier Final Fantasies. If you're a fan of the later action-based Final Fantasies, this may be a different type of game for you, but nonetheless, it looks pretty great. I might have to pick it up as well.
Very cool.
And if you aren't looking to spend any money, Epic Games offers weekly free games. Starting today and offered through August 22nd, Epic Games is offering Death's Gambit Afterlife and World of Warships, the starter pack Albany. So you can go pick those up on their free games under Epic Games Store.
I think it's really cool that you're starting to add this into the podcast to let our listeners know about it, because you might hit a game that they didn't know about, think about. So at that point, I would highly recommend, if you don't already have it, to go ahead and download the game launcher for Epic. And again, each week they'll have a game or two games sometimes that you can download absolutely for free. I have a pretty big library of games.
Yeah, same.
On there. And
on
many I made
Steam.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Steam. That's a totally different story there.
They also offer free base games for some of their most popular games. Mm-hmm. So Rocket League, Fortnite, League of Legends, and Destiny 2 are all on there as well.
Yep. Very similar to what Steam will do as well. But thank you so much for adding that content to the podcast.
Not a problem. We also have some sales still going on. So the QuakeCon 2024 sale on Steam is still going on through August 21st. The link will be in the show notes. And then Humble Bundle offers a variety of bundles that include the Great Escape Room and board game night with Direwolf and friends at your budget. So Lorenzo mentioned last week that you can pay a certain amount and receive a certain amount, and all money made goes to charity. So I think that's a really, really fun thing. All right, switching gears again. We have this question from Tiberius. He writes, I keep my DogHouse PC in a ventilated closet adjacent to my office, with my desk next to that office closet. This keeps PC heat and noise away from me, and it helps keep the PC clean. My office has carpet and I use a high quality mat under my rolling office chair. Without me touching the wood desk or any PC equipment / cords, when I roll around on the mat, static somehow is induced, perhaps through the mat, carpet, desk, cords, etc., into one or both monitors, causing them to go blank for a second. I'm happy that the monitors are at least handling the static, but I suspect this issue cannot be healthy for the monitors or any other equipment in a long-term application. How might I passively ground out, besides occasionally touching a grounded item, this induced static or shield the equipment from the static?
That is a doozy. First thing that came to mind, and John, I think you were the one that found this, is to utilize an anti-static chair mat. I don't know if the one that Tiberius is using specifically is an anti-static mat. There are also, like we use here in the lab, grounding straps you can attach yourself to and then ground that. Maybe a bit less practical for moving around your office space. But a lot of times you'll find that your video cable may be okay if there is absolutely no interference. So I would try higher quality or active cables, especially if they're a longer run. And checking that your outlets are grounded is also very important. You can get inexpensive outlet checking devices, I guess you'd call them. It's a series of electronics with an LED on it, and we'll link a couple of those in the show notes as well. There's also, we'll have there linked a support article from DisplayLink that mentions that the electromagnetic interference output by gas spring chairs when the gas spring is actuated has actually been shown to blank out screens intermittently, especially when using non-active cables. So something else to take a look at. I wouldn't recommend adding a humidifier to your room since you have so much electronic equipment in. It looks like from the images that Tiberius sent us, a lot of raw wood and don't really want to introduce a whole bunch of moisture to that as well. But yeah, new cables, anti-static chair mat, and make sure your outlets are actually grounded. You'd be surprised how many times they may not be. Yeah,
you might want to change his spec also.
His spec.
I'm assuming he's a shaman and maybe he's casting electrical.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. And all joking aside, Tiberius, thank you so much for sending that in, and keep us posted. And we could do a follow up on a future episode. I mean, there's a good chance he might already have an anti-stat mat, but that was one of the first thoughts that, just in case you don't, you could specifically get one. That's a tough one. And I would imagine it probably only gets worse in the winter months when things get even more dry.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Wireless interference. Human to display is a new one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that pretty much wraps us up. We are keeping these podcasts nice and short right now. I know that we've got some cool things coming down the road. We've got a manufacturer that we had talked to earlier in the week that is excited about getting on the show. We'll give more information about that as we get ready to kind of tighten things down on that. And then on the gaming side,
World of Warcraft's coming out in a couple of weeks.
Yep, got the expansion, the War Within. So we will have some things to talk about, and I think we've even got some fun giveaways around that. So lots of good stuff, and we appreciate you guys listening to the show. If you guys are able to leave a rating for us and maybe even a review, we would greatly appreciate that. And just being able to spread the word to others, we also would greatly appreciate that. And there are multiple ways that you guys can get in touch with us, and Abby will go over those.
Yeah, you can email us at podcast@doghousesystems.com. You can leave us a voicemail at 214-810-4347, or you can get in contact with us via DMs on Instagram, Facebook, X, and we recently joined Threads.
Yes,
so
we did.
You can hit us up there too.
Yep. I think we're done. Hope everybody stays nice and cool. I guess a lot of people already are in other parts of the country, but
very jealous of them.
Very, very jealous. Was watching a baseball game last night. I love the Atlanta Braves. They're in San Francisco right now, and seeing people wearing sweatshirts and stuff. I was like, They are so lucky. But our day is coming. So anyways, thanks again for listening, and we will be back next Friday. Until then, you guys take care.